Hello, Gothic Hippie fam. Welcome back. And let's welcome the Burr months. What better way with a nice change of background? My daughter helped me design it. I hope you love it. If you are new here, hi and welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fekete-Mustafa. I like to do my makeup and get ready with you while I tell spooky tales or true crime or whatever the case may be. But all in that category. Halloween, year-round, spooky vibes. I am also partial owner of Gothic Hippie's makeup boutique with my sister Tiara. And, by the way, it is Tiara's birthday, so happy birthday, sis. Please wish Tiara a happy birthday in the comments. It would make her day to see all of you lovelies, showing her a little love today. Also got this really cute, Summerween headband with the ghosts and the pies, and it's all pink and cute. And I will drop the link to that in the description alongside all the makeup products that I will be wearing. Today's discussion is titled, Where Did Halloween Come From? And these are nothing but true facts. If you're like me and you're so sick of people saying it's the devil's holiday and they don't celebrate because they think it's the devil's holiday, well, this is the true facts here. It's not the devil's holiday. Let's get into that. In fact, many religions practiced Halloween, and we'll get into that too. So let's dive into the ancient roots of Halloween. Halloween comes from an ancient Celtic festival of sow-in. Celebrated 2,000 years ago in what is now Ireland, the UK, and let's not forget northern France. It marked the end of harvest and the beginning of winter, a time they believed the veil between life, the living, and death, the dead, was at its thinnest. During sow-in, people lit bonfires, wore costumes, and made offerings to spirits and ancestors to make them happy and to scare off any evil or angry spirits. So in fact, they used Halloween in honoring the dead. Now let's get into Christian influence. In the 8th century, the Catholic Church established the All Saints' Day, All Hallows Day, on November 1st to honor the saints. And the night before became All Hallows Eve and eventually shortened to Halloween. Here's a good question. Why do we wear costumes? Well, the Celtics wore masks and animal skins to disguise themselves from wandering ghosts, so that spirits would mistake them as one of their own and leave them alone. In medieval Europe, some people dressed as saints, angels, demons on All Hallows Eve, and they went door to door performing for food. This practice was called mumming or guising. Door-to-door performing for food sounds a little familiar. Yes, let's get into trick-or-treating and where that came from. The custom for going door-to-door to gather treats is thought to come from a medieval practice of souling, where poor people, especially children, would visit homes and they would sing and pray for the dead in exchange for soul cakes, which were like little sweet cakes. Sweetbreads, if you'd rather. In Scotland and Ireland, children dressed in costumes, often homemade, and they would go from house to house performing songs, poems, or jokes in exchange for fruits, nuts, and coins. The American version of trick-or-treating became more popular in the early 20th century, likely influenced by these older traditions brought by the Scottish and Irish immigrants. It became widespread in the US after the 1920s, especially after World War II, when sugar rationing ended. So they went hard with the sugar afterwards. And you can kind of see where that's leading to, huh? Yeah. Candy. Yep, so those sweet cakes turned into just all sorts of sweets in general, like candy. Caramel apples, just all of those sweets. So that's the stamp on where, candy and all that sugary stuff kind of comes from, is from the past, of course, but then totally just turned into something else after we had to ration sugar, and then we didn't have to anymore in America, and then we just went real big. We went real big. Sugar rush. So here are a few more fun facts. So let's get into jack-o'-lanterns. Do you know what first fruits / vegetable were the first jack-o'-lanterns? Any guesses? Turnips and potatoes. The Irish carved scary faces into turnips and potatoes to ward off evil spirits or a ghostly figure called Stingy Jack. When they came to America, they started using pumpkins instead. Why, you ask? Because they were larger and much easier to carve. Another fun fact about our beautiful, Halloween festivities, let's get into bonfires. The big fires during sow-in were thought to help guide spirits and also protecting the living from them. Interesting. People would even light torches from the bonfire and carry them home for good luck. Good luck, good luck, good luck. So black cats and witches together. Why? Black cats became associated with Halloween because medieval beliefs that witches can transform into cats to spy on people, and that cats were their familiars. Originally, costumes were all about spirits and the dead and scary things, or to ward off evil spirits. So those of you who always thought that this was the devil's holiday, it's not. It's actually a whole thing, a whole idea, a whole ritual on warding off evil spirits. So how did we get from that to kids dressed up as superheroes, princesses, and hot dogs? Well, here's what happened. Immigrants brought their traditions. Irish and Scottish immigrants brought the old customs of guising, souling, and scary costumes to the US in the 1800s. And these costumes were handmade and still pretty darn spooky. By the early 20th century, Halloween in America became more of a community party. So less about spirits and more about fun. Schools and towns held dances, parades, and costume contests for kids and adults. And then, good old America, costume companies got involved. By the 1930s, 40s, companies like Ben Cooper started mass producing costumes. At first, they stuck to more traditional scary figures, but soon started adding popular characters from comics and movies and cartoons. After World War II, after sugar was no longer having to be rationed, TVs and movies booming, Halloween became a big family event. Proud of it. Kids wanted to dress as their favorite characters, and companies were happy to sell them these costumes. America. Over time, the scary and the superstitious origins faded for most people. Halloween became a night of imagination, play, and creativity. So anything goes. Let's have a little fun and do most popular costumes by decade. The 1920s and 30s Homemade and creepy. Witches, ghosts, devils, skeletons, creepy was the norm. People made their own costumes out of sheets, old clothes. Creepy papier-mâché masks and animal disguises were very popular. Ben Cooper and Collegeville began selling affordable, scary masks and capes toward the end of the 1930s. 1940s, wartime. Costumes during World War II were influenced by the war. Soldiers, sailors, nurses, even Uncle Sam. Though spooky costumes did remain popular, but materials were limited due to rationing. Some crafty little kids even painted cardboard to make masks out of them. I love it. In the 1950s, pop culture arrives. TV and comics exploded. Kids wanted to be superheroes and cartoon characters. Superman, Zorro, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and even Davy Crockett. Classic monsters like Dracula and Frankenstein's monster and the Mummy became icons thanks to Universal horror movies. The 1960s, sci-fi and TV. Star Trek characters, astronauts, inspired by the space race. Batman and Robin, who can forget? They're still a thing now. Well, at least Batman is. Robin just kind of fell off the face of the planet, but Batman's still here. My son was Batman when he was about 3 years old. The Addams Family, which my family and I did when my daughter was like a year old as well. It was awesome. The Munsters, hippies, clowns, and gypsies were also trendy. The 1970s, horror and rock stars. Influenced by scary movies like Jason and Michael Myers, vampires. Kids dressed like rock stars like Elton John and Kiss. By 1977, the Planet of the Apes and Star Wars was huge. And I feel like Star Wars will never go away. Never go away. Another one that's just kept alive. The 1980s. Bright, bold, movie magic. Star Wars characters continued to dominate. You guys, Ghostbusters, E.T., which I tried to watch with my daughter the other night and she said he's scary. He's so cute. Indiana Jones. Gosh, the 80s had the best movies ever. And music. Cartoon characters like the Smurfs, He-Man and She-Ra, and beautiful classic Rainbow Bright. Freddy Krueger and Jason became iconic slashers. Neon wings, punk rockers, rubber monster masks. Do you guys remember that? Well, they became real big in the 80s. 1990s. Pop and nostalgia. Disney princesses, Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which my daughter's also afraid of because she doesn't like how they have human eyes. Horror movies like Scream made the ghost face very popular. Spice Girls and boy band looks, I was never into, but that was a thing. The 2000s. Blockbusters and sexy costumes. Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, and superheroes from the growing Marvel movies. Sexy versions of almost anything became a trend for adults. And emo and goth aesthetics, they got really big too, which I still love. 2010 to today. Anything goes. Superheroes, thanks to DC and Marvel movies. Video game characters such as Minecraft and Fortnite. Anime, memes, and social media trends turned into costumes. Like that dress as a filter. Nostalgia, like the 80s and 1990s throwback costumes. And of course, let's not forget the classics that are still huge to this day. Witches, skeletons, zombies, vampires. They never really went away. They stuck through and through every decade. If you like to see more videos like this, the true facts about certain things that you didn't know about, then please subscribe to my channel because I will be here for you. If you like to sit here and listen to people talk while you do your makeup while they do their makeup, or, it's just therapy for you, subscribe. I had so much fun creating this look. It's purple. It's purple because my sister Tiara loves purple and it's her birthday. She's a huge witch fan. Though I'm into all of the classics the most, I am like a true vampire fan. Which if you go back, you will see that I did a vampire look. And how I made really, really realistic teeth. And it costs like nothing. Way better than those lousy ones that you just buy and try to put in. Those don't work. Halloween is one of my ultimate favorite holidays ever. I can't wait. That's why I had to do this now. There's no time. There's no waiting here. Not in this house. Nope. Definitely one of those people. What do you think you're going to be this year for Halloween? I think I'm going to drop like an inspiration idea list very soon here. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, just to give you guys like a little more inspiration towards what you want to be. But if you know already, drop that in the comments. Knowing that just excites me. I need to know what you're going to be for Halloween. Thank you. Yeah. Don't forget to wish Tiara a happy birthday too. You can combine that comment. So happy birthday, Tiara. What you're going to be for Halloween, and subscribe so we can be besties. Yeah. I'm posting like every Tuesday. I'm not sure if I want to do Friday or Saturday. I know I said Saturday, but I'm thinking that's like a large gap in between. So maybe I'll like alternate or stick to Fridays. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So be it. It is not officially fall, so happy Summerween, but it is officially a Burr month. So I'm going to head out and I hope to see you guys again very soon. Have a beautiful day.